7:30. That will be going on also. Are we supposed to have a conference? 7:30?
We have a call conference, 7:30 Monday night, to vote on the teachers and all. Also, September the 5th is our regular conference.
So call conference, 7:30 Wednesday night, vote on teachers and officers. Any more announcements?
Yeah, don't forget the women's thing Friday night at 7 o'clock. If you've not signed up on the bulletin board, please sign up before tonight so I can take that down.
Anything else?
Just another reminder, we had some come in that we are starting that new Sunday school class, 18 to 35, next week, and it'll be in the fellowship hall. So if you're that age, when we come to Sunday school, hey, we got your class for you. Yeah, thank you.
The call conference will be after prayer meeting.
It'll be after prayer meeting Wednesday night.
Take that long
Anything else? Am I forgetting anything? Somebody want to talk to me? All right. Birthdays, come here.
All right.
No respect. Rail can.
You don't get arrested, you keep getting over. Happy birthday, dude.
Show of emotion right
Mom said, I heard from us.
Appreciate that.
At this time, we'll take up one offering. For the pledge of the first offering.
Surely tired of it, but there's God on the mountain, there's still God in the valley. Most of us is in the valley. So you get blessed in that song.
Life is easy when you're up on the mountain and you've got peace of mind like you've never known. But then things change and you're down in the valley. Don't lose faith, for you're never alone. For the God on the mountain is still God in the valley. When things go wrong, He'll make them right. And the God of the good times is still God in the bad times. The God of the day is still God in the night. We talk of faith when we're up on the mountain, but the talk comes easy when life's at its best. It's down in the valley of trials and temptations. That's when faith is really put to the test. For the God on the mountain is still God in the valley. When things go wrong, He'll make them right. And the God of the good times is still God in the bad times. The God of the day is still God in the night. For the God on the mountain is still God in the valley. When things go wrong, He'll make them right. And the God of the good times is still God in the bad times. The God of the day is still God in the Lord, I don't think anybody ever get tired of singing that. I don't know.
Morning, everybody. Just got had a good week. Learned something yesterday. pull a joke on your barber before he cuts your hair. I called a barber at the mall barber shop, Watson, Jerome Roots. He's all about a dollar, man. And he talks about his wife and his daughters. He don't like Facebook. And I called him, I kind of disguised my voice. I said, you open? He said, yeah. I said, well, I seen on Facebook that the mall barber shop was closed today, and I hung up. Then I got 2 more people to call and tell me that they had seen it on Facebook. And then when I walked in the door, he said, you the one spreading that mess. He didn't give me a bad haircut. It's good to laugh and have a good time. I think we're into new Christian fella. I like old big guy. But if you have your Bibles this morning, turn to Isaiah chapter 64. Isaiah chapter 64, just a couple of verses we read here. Who's ever heard the old saying? It's not an old saying, it's scripture, it's in the Bible. The best that we can do is as filthy rags unto God. Do you think people might use that for an excuse not to do their best? You think people might think that, well, it don't matter what I do, it's never going to be good enough for God. You know, I would say today that we want to clarify that. If the best that we can do is as filthy rags unto God, I dare say we won't do anything less, because what is that? You see what I'm saying? But the best that we can do for God is what we should strive to do in our Christian walk. In Isaiah chapter 64, verse 4, for since the beginning of the world men have not heard, nor perceived by the ear, neither hath the eye seen, O God, beside thee, what he hath prepared for him that waiteth for him. Thou meetest him that rejoiceth and worketh righteousness. Those that remember thee in thy ways, behold, thou art worth. For we have sinned in those countenance, and we shall be saved. Stop right here to say, even though we have sinned, even though we'll never reach anything to deserve the love of Christ, he gave it anyway, and he saved us, and that's something to be happy about this morning. That's to put a smile on your face just to know that undeservingly he saved you anyway. I was in Sunday school class this morning. You were talking about the letting things go. That I've sinned. I'm still ashamed of some of the things that I've done. But the devil, God's forgot them. He cast them as far as the east is from the west. But the devil will bring that to your memory and make you think, surely, as vile and disgusting as you are, God didn't forgive you. That's what the devil does.
That's right.
But he cast them as far as the east is from the west. He forgive it. It's gone. To be no more. It don't exist. No more. Does that put it in here? But, you know, it kind of goes along with what we're talking about today. But we are, in verse 6, but we are all as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags, and we do all fade as a leaf, and our iniquities like the wind have taken us away. Giving our best to God. We don't want to give him any less. Even though it says it's as filthy rags, we should strive to give him our best. Why do we try to dress as nice as we can on Sunday? If you always heard, I always wondered the reason, why you got to wear a suit? Why you got to do this? I don't like wearing a suit, believe me. I don't like it. But it's in honor of God that we give him our best on,
Amen.
not not only Sundays, but every day. That's what it is. It's honoring God, and He wants to be first in our lives. See, whenever we don't give Him our best, we're saying, okay, God, this is above you. You're now second. I'm placing work. I'm placing money. I'm placing this. I'm placing that. And it's all above you, and you're second. And God don't want to be second. He wants to be first in your life. Is what He wants to do. Numero uno. Your first love. Christ above all things. And this life that we're walking here on this earth should come first. What does it say about tithing? Does it say, do whatever and give God what's left over? No. It says to give Him the first 10% that goes in the storehouse. I know we talked about 10% and you know, New Testament, give what you can give. I tell you what, I'll buy to give what you can give, but are you giving of the best? Or are you giving of what's left over? Are you giving what you feel God needs, requests, asks of you? Or are you giving Him what's left over? If you give Him your part of the best that you have to give, I'll buy that. But I dare say, here's what happens most of the time. Everything else will come before God if you ain't careful. And you give Him what's left of your money. You give Him what's left of your time. You give Him what's left of your heart. You see, our hearts are filled, it should be full of Christ and Christ alone. But we can fill it with grudges. We can fill it with deceit, lust. I mean, you name it. You can fill a heart full of that, and there's no room for God there. He should be number one. He should come first in all of our lives. But sometimes, most of the time, He finds His way down to the bottom of the list. What can we do if we come to church, if we don't put God first, He wants to be first. If we don't do what is pleasing to God, if we're not pleasing ourselves, surely we're not pleasing Christ. And then sacrificing. To sacrifice, it's required of that of us parents and grandparents, and to be parents, I tell you today, life is full of sacrifice. We sacrifice for the ones we love. We sacrifice to do the best that we can for them. But the first thing that we should sacrifice anything for should be your Lord. Because what did He sacrifice for you? John 3:16. For God so loved the world, He didn't send Him, He gave His only Son. He gave Him and gave Him freely. He gives His all to us, but only asks so little of you today. Let me in your heart, He says. Let me abide in you and be there and keep me at the forefront of your life, whether it's anything, I would say anything, if we'll center it around Christ, we'll be the better for it. We'll be so much better for it. Our marriages, if in our marriage, if Christ comes last there, it won't work. Relationships with your children, if you put Christ first, you're living a godly life that's pleasing to Him, and you can lead those children. Our churches, if we put Christ first in His house, in His church, we'll have communion that's pleasing to God. We'll come together and one accord, and it'll be pleasing to the Lord. Because see, if you put him second, we're not Christ-like, now we're like man. If we put him down at the bottom of the list, he's not leading the way in this house, in this worship today, and then it's religious, it's, we'll say, it's not pleasing to him. We're not putting him at the forefront, and all we're doing is having, we're stuck in a rut. We're not having worship, we're having a religious fashion show, get together, nothing about Christ, and it don't satisfy. It doesn't satisfy. People come to church looking for that miracle, looking for that healing, looking to be uplifted, to hear God's words preached and taught, and it make a difference in their life. And if all we're doing is coming out having some kind of religious ritual that we do every Sunday morning just because we feel like we have to, everybody leaves missing something. Are we giving Christ our best at Longwood Baptist Church? And there's areas of improvement in all of our lives. I know there is, because we can never get satisfied and say that, you know, I've read enough, preached enough, taught enough, and God's happy with me. We can never get to that point, because you'll never reach that point to say that you satisfied God. There's that work in progress that we all are, and there's room for being better at this, being better at that. And if Christ gives us his best, why should we think that we should give him any less? How about that question this morning? Because he loved us enough to send his son to die a terrible death on the cross, so that we might have a chance at eternity, so that salvation would be here for us. Now, I'm not saying by giving our best, don't mistake that for saying that your works will get you into heaven, because that's not what I'm saying. But by being a Christian and by him abiding in you, that's what you want to do, is your best.
Yeah.
Totally. And you know, it's if you sit down and think of the grand scheme of things, where you know just all this comes together. Christ is the head of our church. We, the people in it, living a life pleasing to him, taking it out into the world of lost and dying sinners with a burden for the lost, want to see them saved. You know, it's kind of like a little pyramid. You know, the further out you go from the top, the wider it gets. And we can reach more by putting Christ first each and every time. And we do our best, not expecting anything in return. It's not a conditionary thing. We don't do things and say, all right, God, I'm going to go this far and I'm going to do this. Now I'm expecting something from you. He gave you that already on the cross.
Yeah.
He gave you that already on the cross. But a lot of people would say, and tell you, do